Hello, everybody. This is a new channel that I was thinking about making. I figured, I had this car all my life, 22 years, and I figured I'd share it with everybody of all the mods I've done to it. I was modding it before they really had, all these power adders like turbos and um, well, superchargers were around for a while. That's about it. But there was no blow through the carb type. So fuel injection wasn't quite figured out yet. Early 2000s. But this is an 83 GT. It's an original GT. I actually got this car off a friend that needed some money. It needed a total resto. I got it. It was in primer. Actually, it wasn't even in primer. It was all sanded down, blotchy to metal spots and stuff. It had the metric wheels on it. It was all stock. The guy that had it was planning on restoring it, so he ripped all the interior out, started painting it, lost interest in the car. So it just sat with firewood actually inside of it. And so I ended up picking this car up. $300 actually. And it just came with the shell as is. I towed it home actually with a tow strap. My friend was so kind to drive the truck, and I was in this car. And I live in Maine, so it's all up and down hills. So yeah, it was quite the tow with a chain, 30, 40 miles. Lucky we didn't get caught. But it's got a full interior. I did the dash back early 2000s. They didn't have the dash stuff they have now, so I had to make something work. Of course, the wiring harness in this thing back in the early 2000s was non-existing, so I had to make a painless wiring harness myself. It was either that or, not have a roadworthy car. But yeah, it's an 83. Luckily, the guy I did buy that all kinds of new parts before giving up, and like new upholstered seats. I had correct seats for the front, but I gave them to my friend, and I bought these a long time ago, 15 years ago. Everything you really see right now is 10, 15 years old. This is an old build, folks. It just got painted this year, and you can even see it has these wheels here. You don't see them too much anymore, and they were cheap back in the day. These center lines, but that was what was hot. I put the Cobra wing on it. I actually just threw those nice chrome tips. Um, so what influenced me to make video is actually Brutal and Fox Media. They pretty much do the same stuff I do, so I figured, hey, why don't I show off what I do? I'm not professional in no means, and this was never professionally painted. It's all just backyard mechanics, folks. And yes, I know the welds might not be perfect and the paint might not be spot on, but it shines. It needs to be, waxed and stuff. I've been just tuning it. I just turned it into fuel injection, so I've been having troubles with it. I mean, it runs great through the gears, but just the idling's an issue. I can't seem to get it to idle sometimes down low, which is bothersome. But it has come a long ways, this fuel injection. So it is, hold on here. I'm sorry. I'm only one person here. This is a original block for this car. It's an 83 block. Um, it is a 347 aluminum head. Um, all steel internals, forged internals, I should say. Steel is old terms, I'd say, old school. I am old school here. I'm 40 years old now. I had this car when I was 17, man. And I ruled the streets with a stock 302 roller engine. This car was actually number one, 300 horsepower back then. 99. That's when, Audis had some turbos. Things were just starting to get turbos, and it still beat them, I ran this down with a stock engine to 1290s at the quarter mile. Just over 100 miles an hour, 105, 106. But now, I haven't had a run with it with this engine. But this engine's been built for 15, 16 years. It's been blown, it's been rebuilt. It's been, you name it. One tough engine, Just keep putting part back in it that breaks and run it, Very good engine, considering a stock block. And I take every bit of RPM out of it. I don't leave nothing left, that's for sure. But yeah, it's just an old pushrod motor. Alright, and over here we do have a Ford and Chevy here, competition here. It's my father's car, He calls it his grudge car, so we'll leave it at that, Back in the day, we just raced for fun. We didn't do it for money like they show now, so. Shit, I wish I would have put some money on the bets on these races. I won't get into much of it because it's not mine, so he can, when he's around, I'll make another video of it if I decide to. It is a stroker engine, 496. It's turned down right now to about, 600 at the crank, maybe 650. It was at almost 800, but he took the solid lifters out and put hydraulics. I told him you should never do that. I love my solids. But yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. See, it's nothing special here. It's just a little garage, guys. Granted, it's more than some people, but hey, we didn't have all this, overnight, so. And I still have some stuff I haven't put on yet. Like, I ordered these, 11 years ago, and I just forgot to put them on. Now I'm back into it, and coil conversion with, the two A members there, or whatever you call those there. Control arms, two-wheel control arms, excuse me there. I already have the K member in it. It's been there for a long-ass time. It's a QA1 in there with manual rack. So, it is a quick little car. Well, that's all I have today. Thanks for watching.